Teddy scoffs and turns around. The monitor suddenly switches off. Suddenly turning on us without any signs of remorse, that's not like Teddy at all. No, he's most likely not the real Teddy. Seeing the anger in his face only strengthens my suspicions. Someone must be taking Teddy's form to make it look like he's the one committing these acts.
That girl's come around.
I immediately rush to Yukiko's side. You alright?
Yukiko, are you alright? I'm sorry I couldn't go easy on you.
No, it's okay. You aren't your usual self, but I could tell by your eyes that there was something going on. I'm sorry too. Did I hurt you?
Kinda, yeah. I sure wouldn't want to get into it with you again.
I try to pass it off as a joke, and we look at each other and laugh. Ha ha ha, we almost killed each other. Things are going the same way as they had with Yosuke. It's becoming clear now.
Hey, did I say things that offended you earlier?
Yes. You did.
Yukiko hesitates as if even remembering it is a difficult experience. It happened like a minute ago. What in the world did my illusion say to her? I bet it was something horrible. Whoever's doing this is certainly finding the most annoying way of getting us to fight. But what I supposedly said to her doesn't matter. Yukiko is still hesitant to bring it up, so I tell her not to worry about it.
I don't need to know what I said. I just wanted to see if my guess was right. It looks like our enemy has the power to confuse our senses. My first opponent was Yosuke, and he told me a similar story after we fought.
The enemy can use genjutsu.
Huh? You said something bad to Yosuke-kun too? What did you tell him?
Okay, you have got to stop bringing up this nurse bit. Like, it already overstayed its welcome when it was brought up to Yosuke again, but if you bring it up again right here, it's actually gonna go past being weird to being annoying.
You sure you want to know?
If I'm the only one admitting to what happened, that's not fair, is it? But that curiosity is in line with the Yukiko I know. I evade the issue with a smile and call out to Miss President, who's standing behind us.
What kind of people are you? Oh, right. We used our personas.
Yeah, we're protagonists. We're anime characters.
Yeah, we should at least explain to her what's going on.
She did see everything that had just happened. This would be a good opportunity to tell her everything. I introduce Miss President and Yukiko to each other and fill in the parts that I had left out of my previous explanation. I tell her about the personas. I tell her that we're actually in a world inside the television. That's what they always meant when your parents told you if you watch too much TV, you'll rot your brain. By rot their brain, they mean you would be pulled into a shadow dimension where you would die. And I tell her how the scenery here changes according to the hearts of the people who enter it. She looks doubtful while I'm talking, but considering that she's just seen our personas only moments ago, she doesn't immediately deny it. I wonder if the reason this area takes place in the school is because the student council president is here. Because, like, they throw out that line there of, like, the scenery changes according to the hearts of the people here, so maybe it's based off of her heart. Still, it seems that she can't accept it all either. She crosses her arms as if lost in thought. Personas in a world in a TV sounds like something a suspicious criminal would say. Yeah, right? On the other hand, it seems that Yukiko didn't know that Yasugami High had a new student council president either. Oh, is she a fake? Is she a faker? As Sonic the Hedgehog would say. Yukiko apologizes for not having paid attention to the elections in April.
And that's it in a nutshell.
So, that's what you meant by falling into a TV.
Yeah, which makes me believe this school could be a part of your mind that's materialized.
The school came from me? That's a lot to swallow. I'm not surprised. Why is it different this time around, though? Usually the victim's shadow appears first.
So I was taking a drink of water. I thought that dialogue would go longer. I can never tell with this game. That's right, I had doubts about that one too. Time to watch TV all day long and awaken my persona, or die. Some people that were pulled into the TV world died, as you may recall. There's a reason why it's dangerous for people who can't use their personas to enter this world. Besides the obvious reasons, such as not being able to escape and being unable to protect themselves from shadows, a person's shadow separates from them. The shadows that split off are strongly attached to the original people they came from and will try to harm them in order to become independent identities. I hadn't given it much thought since Miss President seems so energetic, but it's still possible that this has happened to her as well. I put this together with the conversation I had with Teddy a moment ago and came to a conclusion.
The Teddy who's hosting this tournament. What if he's actually this girl's shadow?
Man, your life must be terrible if your other self is Teddy. I would rather die.
Huh?
I noticed he got agitated when I called him an imposter. A fake Teddy would mean he's someone else using Teddy's form.
I see. If this place reflects Miss President's heart, her shadow must be here. And right now, the strongest candidate is...
You guys really are not even gonna take half a second to ask her name. I know it's Labris because it showed me in the opening, movie cutscene thing. But, like, you're just gonna keep calling her Miss President for, like, who knows how long? Just ask her what her name is! That's right. If we both saw an illusion, then at the very least, the enemy has the power to dilute our senses and make us see and hear things that aren't there. On top of that, it can alter what others hear us say and see us do. If it can do that, then I can easily see that our enemy can use that power to change its appearance. That means it could be impersonating Teddy and leading this tournament. That still leaves the question as to why it would take on the appearance of someone it doesn't know. I've seen shadows in the past that took on bizarre appearances. Oh yeah, we definitely have. But this is the first time I've seen one impersonate an existing person. Does this shadow have some kind of objective? When I come to my senses, I see that Miss President has turned pale and is staring down at the ground. All this talk of shadows in another world doesn't seem to be reaching her, but she seems troubled at the thought that she might be causing all this trouble. I'm about to tell her that the actions of her shadow aren't her fault, but Miss President rises to her feet. Hey, you should probably tell her that if she runs into her shadow, not to tell it that you're not me, because that'll, like, be a problem. I know we literally never warn anyone about it because it leads to boss fights, but maybe just once you want to, like, use half a brain cell, just once.
I'm gonna check out the announcement room. That General Teddy's behind the whole shebang, right? And if you came from me, then I gotta own up to the responsibility. As student body president, I can't let this go.
I just really don't like this chick's voice. It's not, like, bad, but I don't know, it's just off to me.
Wait, you're being reckless. We'll take care of the shadow. You need to...
What? Get out of this TV world? And how am I supposed to do that? Go on. Show me the door.
Well...
Her eyes are filled with the fires of determination, just as they had been when I first met her. Her sense of responsibility and her awareness of her duty say that she will never back down.
Cousins in the announcement room, and you're gonna go save her, right? I might not be as strong as the two of you, and I'm no slouch in a fight.
You fight?
Wouldn't it be better if we went together?
No, don't you understand? This world is...
I know it's dangerous, but there's gotta be something only I can do to help.
Why else would I be here if I wasn't a main character who... Character who could do something special?
Hell, that aside, I can't leave after causing so much trouble. Making friends fight each other. I'm going on ahead. You don't want to waste time arguing, yeah?
Miss President declares this in a voice that brooks no argument, and takes off running. Is it because you're not British, Chaos? I mean, I have British friends, and I don't think they sound off to me. It's just her voice specifically. I've heard British people before. I know what British people sound like. Also, not all British people sound the same. They got, like, different accents depending on, like, location a lot of the time. Yikes, I wasn't expecting her to behave rashly like this. Yikes, dude! That's a yikes from me, Chief. I remember how fast she can run. If I'm gonna go after her, I need to go at once or I'll lose her.
Please, you have to go after her.
Yukiko sees me hesitate and knows exactly what to say. She's right. There's so much we don't understand, but there's no way the investigation team can let a victim run off to die. Yukiko ignores the fact that I'd be leaving her here alone and tells me to follow a girl she's only just met. This is the exact opposite of the behavior she'd been displaying before the fight. Now that is the Yukiko Amagi I know. I'm ashamed that I had to even slightly let myself be confused by the way I had heard her speak before, and I answer her. I'll come back for you no matter what.
I believe in you.
Gonna have to head off. For some reason the stream keeps freezing on me. That's unfortunate, dude. I'm not dropping frames, so it must be on your end. But, have a good one. There's always the VOD, or the YouTube channel. Yukiko nods to me, and I turn and begin running as fast as I can. I have to rely on the faint echoes of footsteps ahead to pursue Miss President through the school. I can't use my memories of the school in order to navigate because the invisible walls are everywhere, but the announcement room is upstairs. That obviously limits the path that she can take. I will catch up with her no matter what. Oh, it's the hallway, my favorite location in the game again. I've been running after Miss President for a while, but I still can't catch sight of her. She's so fast, it's almost supernatural. I even begin to think that her path may not be hindered by the invisible walls. Wait a second. Now that I think about it, she's not a participant in the P-1 Grand Prix. She didn't appear in the introduction video, and even though she'd been there when I faced off with Yukiko, she wasn't affected by the rules. Could she be able to walk through these walls? If so, then catching up to her will be quite difficult. Yo, when are we gonna get the Persona 3 characters in here? I want to see Bei, and by Bei I mean Mitsuru. Just as I'm thinking this, suddenly a blue door appears in my path. I've never seen this before, or I've seen this before rather, the opposite of what I was just saying. This is the entrance to the Velvet Room. We gotta go in the Velvet Room after every single fight, huh? I don't have time to deal with this, or so I think, but when I consider the timing of its appearance, I can't help but feel that there must be a reason for it. I make up my mind and reach for the door. As I walk through the door, I feel a slight sense of lightheadedness, and I close my eyes reflexively. When I open my eyes, I still don't have my dang wand. I'm seated in my usual position, and Margaret is smiling quietly at me as if nothing is different. When she sees that I've noticed her, she speaks as if aware of my impatience.
You seem flustered, but time has no meaning here.
Dude, we're gonna end up playing this game a lot longer than I thought. Like, if all of the other story modes are as long as this, I imagine Narukami's is probably the longest. I bet, like, when we play Yosuke, Yukiko's, etc., it'll probably be a bit quicker. I don't really... Is it gonna, like, play from their perspective of this exact event, or something different? I mean, we'll find out. I have no idea. But I will say, the amount of, like, novel-esque dialogue they have that is making this take so much longer, I am not a fan. It's like there's so much added fluff to be like, oh, this is what Narukami's thinking if he was writing a 600-page novel. It's like, it doesn't, like, fit Persona, like, as a brand, in my eyes. None of the other Persona games, like, take that kind of approach, and I don't like it. Margaret politely points this out, knowing that I am in a hurry. Time is meaningless, huh? I thought I had figured out a few things about this room, but it seems that there's still more for me to learn about it. Did they never point out that time is meaningless in the Velvet Room in the first game? In Persona 4, I mean? I thought that, like, in every time you're in the Velvet Room, it's like time stops. That's just how it works. If time doesn't pass while I'm in this room, then I should concentrate on what she's about to tell me. Dude, Narukami is an idiot? Like, you use the Velvet Room so much during Persona 4. Surely you had to realize that time stops when you're in here. Unless you're literally just a moron. Once again, as if reading my thoughts, Margaret smiles.
It seems you've emerged victorious and have come away with a piece of the truth. Though you are in a garden of deceit, you have the vision to go forward. Very impressive.
Is that student council president's shadow really the cause of all this, then?
Who can say? All I know is that you are getting ever closer to the truth. There is one thing I can tell you.
Margaret's golden eyes are fixed on mine.
If that girl's shadow is the cause of this misfortune, she will face her trial. But it's separate from your fate. You have your own trial to overcome. Keep that to heart.
My own trial?
I don't mean to, but I repeat what Margaret had just said. Okay.
Everyone sees various things in you that draw them to you. Salvation, hope. I myself find fascination in watching over you. Fate may not be the author of your trials, but you are destined to be tested.
Margaret smiles mischievously and nods towards me. There's no point in that. Like, that dialogue right there, that this line does not need to exist. Why do I have to read this? I don't need to know that she smiled and nodded. Like, you've got the little character portrait where she's smiling. That's all I need to know. So much unnecessary text in this game. I feel like I'm playing a cyber sleuth game. Another slight feeling of lightheadedness passes, and I return to that otherworldly school. The blue door is nowhere to be found, as if it had never been there to begin with. I look up. I still don't understand what my own trial is supposed to be. But for some reason, my mind is cleared up a bit. We're at scene 8. How many I mean, there are only so many characters I could possibly fight. When I saw that the story modes were broken up by character, I thought like, oh dude, we'll probably finish Narukami's today and maybe get Yosuke's done. We're almost at the 3-hour mark, and I still feel like I have no clue how close I am to being done with Narukami's. This is a lot more than I was expecting. In any case, I need to keep chasing after Miss President. Please ask her what her name is. And now I immediately see a recognizable feature, her long ponytail. I do love ponytails. I found her.
Wait! It's too dangerous to go alone.
Take this. Miss President turns around in response to my voice. See, like this right here, this doesn't need to be here. Just have Labrys start talking. I'll know that she started responding to me. I don't need to know that she turned around. Anything is better than the useless ghost club people or whatever they're called in Cyber Sleuth. I'll give you that. The cult club in Cyber Sleuth is a monstrosity that shouldn't exist. She's smiling. I wasn't expecting that at all. See, none of this dialogue is necessary. None of this text, rather. It's not really dialogue, it's text.
Color me impressed that you managed to catch up to me so quick.
This calmness. Had she expected that I would follow her? I'm beginning to feel like she's toying with me. But I understand now. Nothing I can say to her will change her mind. There's no helping it then.
Promise me that you won't leave my side. And you can't do anything rash. If you can't agree to those terms, I'll have to force you into protective custody.
I'm a cop now?
This is a matter of life and death for you.
Sure thing. Then let's get to that announcement room together.
I thought that I'd be able to keep her in check by saying that her life was in danger, but she didn't seem to take any notice. She just shrugged and accepted my proposal. She's quite hard to deal with. I'm not sure if she knows how I'm feeling, but she speaks up.
Hey, mind if I ask you something?
I do actually. Please stop.
What is it?
There's a moment of silence. Just as I'm about to ask her to go on, Miss President continues.
It's tough, being forced to fight your friends, huh? Sorry. You don't gotta answer.
She must still be thinking about my fight with Yukiko. True, I'm slightly hesitant to talk about any of this, but it's a question that must be answered. That's how it feels to me.
No, you're right. If I could avoid it, I would. But I believe in my friends.
Except for Teddy, I want to punch him in the face. I would not avoid that one if I was able to.
You mean your friends won't hate you after the fight? Or you think they'll understand that you don't really want to fight?
I don't know. Both, maybe. I mean, there's no way we'd fight each other without some kind of reason.
Will she believe that answer? I study Miss President's face. But when she opens her mouth, she has an unexpectedly gloomy look in her eyes.
What if you had to kill each other?
Kill each other. This chick clearly hasn't watched Naruto. And it shows. I truly hadn't anticipated that question. I'm caught off guard by how I hadn't even considered it. It's true, there's no guarantee that this General Teddy won't suddenly decide to make us fight to the death on a whim. Didn't he already say that all of the fights were to the death and then we just didn't kill each other anyway? You know. Guess the small dialogue is there because it would cost a lot to make full-blown cutscenes show all this stuff happening. Well, just, they don't have to do cutscenes in exchange for this. They could just do the normal text box.
Sorry, that was probably over the line. I don't know why I said that.
I wouldn't let it happen.
Even if I was forced into such a situation, I would never follow that order. That's all I can say right now. But after hearing my answer, Miss President casts her eyes down again. After seeing that behavior, how do I put this? Felt a sense of incongruity. Inconsistency? Does incongruity mean inconsistency? Are those synonyms? What does incongruity mean, chat? I know that word, but I don't know what it means. I thought it was just, like, similar to inconsistency, but that might just be because they both start with incon. Why could that be? Something doesn't feel like her. Could Miss President be carrying some unimaginable burden that she has yet to confide in us? She's a high school student. What could possibly be going on with her? Wait a second. This is an anime. Obviously, the high school student has something going on. Is it so heavy that she would ask that question of me? Speaking of which, if General Teddy does turn out to be her shadow, what does that mean about whatever repressed thoughts she truly has? Suddenly, it seems that her courageous and cheerful demeanor are a mirror image of that, and a slight sense of fear chills my spine. My thoughts race through my head while we walk down the hallway. We're walking now? Ow, my face.
What are you doing?
I thought I broke my nose for a moment. It's that invisible wall again. Even though I should have been expecting them, I'd relaxed my guard and walked right into one. I hold my nose and wave away Miss President, who looks concerned.
There's an invisible wall. I don't think I can go through here.
This is the perfect opportunity to have Johnny Young Bosch have to do like a nasally thing because like he hit his nose and all, but I'm upset they didn't go for it.
An invisible wall? Oh, that must have been why you broke out of the mime act every now and then.
No, I'm actually also a professional mime. I've won 3 national competitions in Asia.
Well, if I can pass through, it must only be blocking the tournament fighters. This world sure is out there.
Miss President walks right through the place I had bumped into, so that must be the case. As I'd imagine, Miss President is unaffected by these walls. Is it because she's not one of the fighters in the Grand Prix? Of course, if General Tenny really is her shadow, maybe the normal rules don't apply to her.